Hi guys, I hope you're good since last video. Where to deploy your AI app? Where can you scale it? Kubernetes probably. We're going to use easy to understand abstraction to see how we can group apps and have full control on where those are deployed. Your app just started picking up. You have now some clusters running with some nodes in different areas. Let's see how helpful Nodeselectors can be. Open your terminal if you have a KubeADM cluster or even Minikube or Kind cluster, or even if you're in the cloud with EKS, but you better have control over your controller node to have full power. It is going to be easy to understand and interesting. I have left in the bio a link for students who want to learn AI by doing, beginner devs who want to think at a service that they could offer, or business owners who want to use AI for themselves. It is free. There is a guide PDF to download on the video. Link is in the pinned comment or video description. Get it now from our hub, Shaker Houses. Also, please like and subscribe, and thank you for your support. Let's get started. Standalone pod case. I'm gonna start with one pod. So let's check the cluster state. We're gonna check on the nodes. We show the labels. So we'll be playing with those labels. We have a controller node, one worker node, and the second worker node. Those are the labels set by Kubernetes. I have also the node 2 Nginx, but we are not going to use that one. In terms of a label, I'm going to make some labels so you will be able to make some at the same time. I'm going to make some new ones. Okay, so we've seen the little cluster that we have. One controller node and two worker nodes. I'm going to label the node 1, key label node 1 Creditizens.net. And after we put the key and the value, location Jiguoka. So we're gonna work with different neighbors in Tokyo. We have some different nodes running in different areas of Tokyo. So now we're gonna get the nodes again, showing the labels. Let's just get all nodes. Okay, I'm just going to get this one. So you can see straight away, location, Jiguoka, the node 1 have been labeled. We have added one, you see. Okay. So now that we got this label, we can probably now start creating a pod, probably. Let's see. Just gonna restart from here. You can use kubectl. I'm using an alias k that I have set in the previous video, if you've seen it. K run pod. Let's give it a name. K run Nginx Jiguoka 1 image Nginx. Okay, so the pod has been created. You see, it has been dispatched on node 2. So the scheduler is just going to decide where to put the node. It's random. The controller node in my cluster accepts workload, so we can deploy there. So here I'm going to just delete this pod. I'm going to again redeploy this pod, and you see now it has been deployed by the scheduler randomly in the node 1 and the node 2, as you can see. So here we don't get full control. The control is under the scheduler, but we can int the scheduler. So I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to recreate it again, just to show you that now it has been, you see, it's not a random robin. So it's just random. So now it has been deployed in node 1. I'll do it several times so that you can see what's going on. Again on node 1. Okay, sometimes you need to try several times to understand how it works. So we're going to delete it, deploy it again, and go again. Just going to delete it again and redeploy it just to see. Node 1 again. So you see we got it once on node 2, and after it just been scheduled on node 1 every single time. This is random. We have 2 workers. So the scheduler is going to choose the workers first before scheduling in the controller. So here the controller accepts pods to be deployed because it's a small cluster. So I have set it that way. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit a file, but I'm going to go in the right folder, which is Nodeselector. So I've created a special folder for that. But we're going to create all together from scratch. So you can pause the video and copy those. So this is Nginx Jigoka pod. It's a pod, kind pod, metadata, the name Nginx standalone. The label is app Nginx. You can change the name for Nginx Jigoka, maybe. Okay. The app is just Nginx. We have the spec container, Nginx for the name, and the image Nginx. So I just changed the name for Nginx Jigoka standalone. And now I'm going to activate here the Nodeselector. So be careful with the indentation, otherwise it's not going to work. So I'm using the key and the value that you have used to label the node. So location, that's the key, and Jigoka, that's the label. Okay. So I'm writing here in the comments, node labeled the same way. I'm going to write this file. And now we're going to open the terminal. And we are going to apply this configuration file to the cluster to have this pod deployed. Has been confirmed. Has been created. We're going to just get the pods just to see where it has been deployed. So the label, okay, here this one is just label app Nginx, but we use the Nodeselector. So now let's see, just the nodes labels. So we got the location Jigoka on the node 1. Okay. So on this node here, node 1.creditizens.net, while the other nodes, they don't have this selector, this label. So the Nodeselector is going to target a label on the nodes. Here it's matching, there is only one. So as expected, it has been scheduled on the node 1. Okay, so this is one way that you can use with standalone pods to control where you want those to be deployed. The pod that I've created is very simple, so there is no resource requirements. But when there are resource requirements, you have to be careful with that to not exceed those resources, otherwise it's not going to work. So here default node is on the node 1. So we describe, we just see how is this pod configured. Okay. And we're just gonna go and find the Nodeselector, which is here. Nodeselector location Jigoka. So that's how we have created this pod. That's why it is displayed here as well in the description. So So now we can delete this pod. So this is how you delete the label. You just put a minus in front of after the key. Location was the key, I put a minus. So it has been unlabeled. Key label node 1, Creditizens.net. So that's the same command that you're going to use to label it. Put key value, and when you want to unlabel it, you just put the key with a minus. Okay? So the node 1 now doesn't have that label anymore. We have deleted it. Okay, so now you're good with the labeling. You know that a node needs to be labeled. The selector needs to match that label in order for the pod to be deployed on that node. So I'm going to label the node 2 now. To show you that we have full control now, we're going to use location jigwalker on the node 2. Okay, so now location jigwalker has been moved to the node 2. So now we expect, just say what we expect when we deploy the pod again. Okay, so I've deployed the pod, and now let's see when it has been deployed to the node 2. So you see, this is the proof that it's matching the key and value that we have labeled, that we have used to label the pod. Okay, Nodeselector, location jigwalker, and it has been, the scheduler has just picked the right one, which is matching the node 2. Okay, this is one way that you can use for your single pods to just put those in the right node. So it depends on what is running in that node. Maybe you have some dependencies that you want to run together just to have an easy networking. Please like and subscribe during the break. Now we're going to see the other case, the replica set case. It is also interesting. So now what I'm going to do, I'll go for node 1. I'm going to put location jigwalker on node 1. Okay. Okay, create deployment Nginx RS, image Nginx, replica, 2 replicas. I'm gonna run it as a dry run because I want to create a file or YAML. So that's the output that I want. I'm just gonna direct this output to Nginx rs.yaml. Okay, has been deprecated, but it's okay. The file has been created. So next time I'm gonna try to not forget to use dry run with a client, equal client. So we can check here. We got the file. So Nginx rs means Nginx replica set. But I have created a deployment, so I need to edit this file in order to transform it to a replica set, because there's no imperative commands to create a replica set. So I get rid of the fields that I don't need. You just do the same. Okay, now we got it. After here, deployment, you change the kind for replica set with a capital S at set, or the capital R at replica. We got the 2 replicas. The match label is up, Nginx RS. We got the container. Okay, I'm gonna write this file, open the terminal again. So we're just checking what's the behavior of this deployment of this replica set, I mean when we're gonna apply it, what we're doing now to the cluster has been created. So we see replica sets, desire, current. One is ready already, so we have one pod already. 2 pods already now. But as you can see, those are Nginx RS. They're in different nodes. Node 1, node 2. And that's how it's gonna work. When you want a replica set, it's because you want high availability. But what if you want this kind of behavior, but being directed to only one node? So everything in the node, you can do that. Why not? Depends on your use case. We're going to delete this Agentic RS, and we're going to edit the file and see how we can get control on that. So in the spec, in the template, in the spec of the template, there is a container. At the same level, we're going to use Nodeselector, and we're going to select location Jiguoka. Okay. Let's go for Jiguoka. So we have saved the file. Now we're in the terminal. Let's apply F the file. Nginx replica set has been created. Now we're going to get the pods all wide, and you see they're allocated to the node 1. Okay, so the label I have deleted it from node 2, and I have moved it to the node 1. Okay, and that's why they've been the scheduler just have matched the node selector of the replica set to the node label, okay, which is having same key and same value. So what is good with that is that you can use very meaningful keys and meaningful values. We have seen for a single pod or for a deployment like replica set, how to control where the application is going to run. We have used Nginx to have something lightweight that everyone can test and try to learn easily. So it could be a node where you have some specific GPUs running and you want your model to be using that node and to have a control and monitoring also. So Nodeselector is the easy way to go, but we will see in coming videos that you can have even more control and elaborate more complicated logic. Stay tuned. Let's stop here. Hope that you liked this video. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time.